is what it is. It's your boy Johnny Bravo. You checking in with whatthehype.ca, brown guy behind the camera. And today we got a special guest with us, Peter Jackson. What's good, homie?
I'm good, brother.
How you doing?
Good.
All right, man. So I don't know where to start here. I'm pretty sure everybody in the city knows who you are by this point.
I hope so, yeah.
So, I mean, you just came off On the Wave? That was the one you just came off?
Yeah, On the Wave was the last single. We just kind of like literally let it wrap up recently and just let it play itself out. But I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happy with the outcome.
Well, I mean, I was at I think it was the Riff Raff show in Oshawa.
Yeah.
You performed On the Wave there.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. I can't lie. You had the whole place singing. I was like,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I hear the song on the radio and whatnot, so I'm like, I want to see how the people react, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first time hearing it live. I was like,
Yeah.
PJ got one there.
Yeah,
PJ
you
got
know,
one there.
you know what's crazy for me with On a Wave is like, I mean, my whole base has been built touring live.
Right.
But my whole base has also been me forcing records on people that they didn't know. Because a lot of times I'm on big shows and I'm opening for the bigger artists or I'm a supporting act on the tour. So a lot of times people don't know my stuff. They know my name or, excuse me, they know who I am or whatever. So, excuse me. So like when On a Wave hit while we were on the road. So for me, like what you're saying was happening in every city and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, because I've never experienced that before. So when people were singing the record to me and or singing it back and singing with me and shit, I'm like, oh,
So it was unexpected when you're on the road.
Super unexpected because it was literally like it was happening while I was touring. Like, you know, it was starting to pick up as we were on the road. So it was cool. It was definitely dope.
What do you think, like, the craziest moment you had with that song was? Where, like, was it maybe a phone call, someone calling you about the song, or you were just driving, you heard it in the car? Like, what was the craziest moment you had with the song, you think, where you were like, wow, this one's fucking going?
When the first time I heard it on the radio, like it felt different. Like it felt like not that it wasn't mine, but like it felt big. Like the first time, because it caught me off guard too. Like it dropped, and I was like, oh, what's going on?
So word.
Like that's me. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like the first time I heard it was a really dope feeling, and then just like the amount of people behind the scenes, like the amount of things that it set up for me to this point, like the amount of labels that we spoke to or sat with, and the amount of just bigger people, like, you know, there's big people in the city and there's big people all over the world that were reaching out like, yo, kid, you got one. But you know what it is. So it's like we cracked the top 30 in the country at radio with it, but that's kind of where it ended. You know, it didn't. I don't feel like it fully played out the way it should have, but that's the game, right?
That's the game, but I mean, you seem to have followed that up pretty well. I mean, you just dropped the new single there, Vacation, and the lyric video.
Yeah, new single's called Vacation. It was produced by DJ Marley Waters, mixed and mastered by DJ Swivel, and I got Chrissy Spratt on the record, who's a new artist of mine. Okay. So she's under our umbrella, and yeah, I'm happy with the record. The record's super upbeat, and it's like you said, like I'm trying to follow up. I know what it's like, you know, I know what I make a night, and I'm trying to get to, you know, a different plateau of, you know.
So if the bar for On the Wave was down here, you're saying Vacation, we're expecting it a little bit higher.
I mean, you have to. It's just progress. It just needs to be a step forward for me. I don't have any set, like, okay, it needs to do this. Like, when we were about to get with the radio promoter for On a Wave, it had already started clicking before I hired him. But when I was talking to him, I was like, listen, this needs to crack the top 20. This has to. And he's like, wow, it's your first record of radio. That's not going to, you know, that's almost like virtually impossible with no label and whatever. I'm like, nah, it needs to. Like, I'm not hearing anything else. Like, that's the whole point of this. And I mean, even us doing top 30 was good, but we wanted, you know, to break the top 20. Yeah, definitely. You always want more. If you don't, then you don't have no business, you know, playing in a competitive sport. In my eyes.
And the video you dropped, that's not the official video. That's just like a lyric.
Nah, I'm getting in trouble for that because it's like, people are saying it kind of like you are, like they're like, oh, it's good. Like we shot basically a video.
I liked it. I was like, yo, this is dope. Like Wasaga, like everybody from the city or from Ontario knows Wasaga, right? So it's like I seen the video. I was like, yo, like I can't wait for this to drop. I have to watch it. I want to see what PJ did, you know. And it was dope because I haven't seen a video of any artist from even Canada. Where they're bringing out jet skis like that, and like, you know, like I haven't seen anything like that, so it was like it was.
That was
cool.
crazy too.
It was cool for sure.
We but this is the thing, like I was saying, I was getting in trouble for it because it was kind of a big production for a lyric video. So it was like it was expensive. And all that stuff. I guess in hindsight of it being a lyric video. So last night, me and my business manager were talking, and I'm like, listen, so we're going here to shoot the video. I'm waiting on the treatment. They're like, what are you talking about? You basically shot the video already. You just need to shoot perform. I'm like, nah, it's not gonna work like that. I'm not using the lyric video pieces for the official video. And they're like, but everybody thinks that's the video. And I'm like, that's fine, but it's not.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? Because the song's called Vacation, right?
Yeah.
So, like, are you gonna go on like a little vacay for the video?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's kind of the way you're going with it.
I think that's the whole reason I did the record, because I had a lot of fun with On a Wave, where I was enjoying what was going on, and I was enjoying kind of, I guess, the benefits that were coming from it and stuff. So for me, it's like, oh, I wanted to have fun with this record. Like, I wanted the next one to be fun again. So yeah, I kind of almost did it for that reason, where it's like, I want to go away. I want to go enjoy what I'm doing. So I'm like in between 2 or 3 places right now to go shoot the video. So I'm basically picking where I want to go on vacation.
I mean, if you need an assistant, I'm down, I'm there. But you already know. So I mean, you got a lot of stuff coming up. So we got T.Fest is next.
Yeah, T.Fest September 3rd.
You're headlining, right?
Yeah.
Seen your face on the flyer, biggest face on the flyer. I was like,
man,
whoa, PJ, what?
I got a big head, man. I got a big head. So, but yeah, no, I thank them for that, because the last 2 years we've been going back and forth, and we never came to an agreement. So it was nice to, you almost have to, like, and I don't mean it in a rude way, but you gotta set standards for yourself,
right?
And kind of follow them, and not just do things because other people think it's right or whatever. So it's like, the opportunity's always been right. I always wanted to do it, but I wanted this opportunity. So for them to give me that, I was very appreciative of it, and I'm excited to do it. And it's my son's first birthday that day too, so we'll try to bring him out. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy. Some like DJ Khaled kind of like.
Yeah. Nah, he took that from me, man. I was doing that before they were. I was showing love to my kids publicly way before the other rappers were.
Oh, that's dope. Can you give us like info what we're expecting? Like,
I think
any surprises.
Not no big surprises, but just. I mean, with us is like, we're born, like we were birthed on the stage basically. So it's like, we know how to perform, we know how to control a crowd, and and have a good time. So for me, it's just, I'm gonna be doing my new records, and I'm gonna do one record that's not out yet, and I'm gonna have Chrissy Spratt with me, and then just I think and then my DJ Young Legend will be with me.
Shout out
big
Legend.
Surprises, yeah. Shout out DJ Young Legend, man. So
that's dope.
I'm trying to get him to DJ with his shirt off. No homo. We've been trying to push him to become like this.
Yeah, just like symbol.
Kind of have a because he's so good, but he's so chill. So we've been pushing him. There's somebody at Def Jam in the States that's been talking to him about it, and they really keep telling him, and it just sounds funny. But they're like, bro, you take off your shirt, ain't nobody ever gonna forget you.
For real.
If you DJ like that, PJ will be gone. Like you gotta get it. You gotta do that. So. It's funny. I keep bugging them and plugging it, sending them like stupid photos of DJs I'm finding with their shirts off, DJing, just like EDM DJs and shit.
That's
like,
crazy.
Funny ass shit, and I'm just pushing them. So he's gonna be pissed off about that.
Yeah, that'd be funny to see. I would like to see that.
That'd be good, man.
But you mentioned something about Unreleased track. Let's talk about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing some rumors. I think you might have mentioned it in an interview. I heard you're sitting on like a bunch of like big features, some big names. I heard Wiz. I heard something about Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I'm sitting.
I heard something about 2 Chainz, but I don't know.
No,
I don't know what's
Chainz,
true.
bro.
I don't know what's true or not.
No, I don't got no records with 2 Chainz. I got a record with Lil Wayne. I got a record with Wiz Khalifa, and I got a record with Future. But the crazy thing is those 3 records aren't on. They're not even on our radar to come out yet. Like, it's weird because for me, it's like I feel like if I can't fully do something, I don't want to do it. So it's like the Wiz record was cleared by Atlantic,
right?
But we want to shoot the video. So until scheduling meets up, and I mean he's a lot busier than I am. So when scheduling meets up and stuff, that'd be something nice to do. And there's there's a few other really. I got a record with Tory Lanez that I'm sitting on. That's on my new project. I got a couple records with Zoe Dollars, and then I got a couple really big ones that we just did. So it's just what fits. You know what I mean? It's like the Wiz, the Wayne, and the Future record. I want to go on an album, so I'm kind of waiting until I'm putting out my next album for that. But yeah, I did bring that up somewhere, and then I figured like I'm gonna have to start talking about it because people probably think I'm lying or something. So
yeah, I seen a clip and I was like what? Lil Wayne? Like
yeah, because people just think you should just put it out if you have it, but that's not. I don't have a monster behind me. I don't have a big machine behind me, and my whole thing at this point is like, yo, we're not broke, and we do know what to do to a point, but I'm still learning at every turn, and it's like I'm still making mistakes as much as I'm doing the right thing. So for me, it's like nobody's telling me what to do. I don't have a blueprint to follow, or I don't have a big machine behind me going, okay, this is coming, then you're doing this. It's like I'm telling people what to do, and then my team's facilitating my ideas. So for a lot of times, it's like I might not be doing the right thing by sitting on those records.
Right.
It might.
But you're just doing what you know, kind of.
I'm just doing what I think is right at this time, and like vacation fits right now. It fits the time of the year. It fits the move. Like I just signed a sponsorship deal with Hard Rock Hotels and Casinos.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
That's like this record. Like even if I didn't put this record out, this record's gone because of the placement of the record with Hard Rock. And I mean, Hard Rock got stuff everywhere across the world, and they're the ones that wanted this record at this time. So for me, it just, if it makes sense, I'm doing it.
Well, that's dope shit. I mean, and as you mentioned in there, you're a lot more than a rapper. You're like also a businessman, right?
Yeah.
As you're saying, you kind of know what you want and you know how to get it done. You just get certain people, I guess, to kind of like do certain tasks, or you know what the end goal is and you know how to work back from it, right? So like as a businessman, and with 90 nickel, not 90 nickel, we just went over that too. So with 90 nickel, you guys have done a lot. Like you guys have brought, I seen you put up a picture the other day. It was like your room with all the flyers from all these shows you guys have done and stuff like that. And I know a lot of the times when you're doing these shows, it's not just, okay, we're gonna bring the artist out as a promoter or whatnot. A lot of the times you're on the tour, you're on these shows, and you're building relationships with the artists. Like we've seen you on the Riff Raff tour. You and Riff have a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? So how do you find it being the business, like being the business and being an artist at the same time? Is there ever like times where it's like gets hard because it's like as the artist you want to say this to the business, but as the business you want to say this to the, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, it happens all the time. Like look at what happened between me and Noriega. That really wasn't about Peter Jackson and Noriega. Like that was about the artist who wanted something beyond what he was supposed to get or asked for.
Right.
And he then only knew my name. So he's like, well, Peter Jackson's not reciprocating and responding. Well, we've never spoke. So how am I supposed to reciprocate or respond to a conversation we've never had? I actually wanted to meet you. You just know the company. So it's like, sometimes that happens, but like I get all the wins. So I'm going to have to take the losses. Like as that person, like when I was on the road, what you just asked was never more apparent than when I was on the road with just Jadakiss. I mean, I've toured with the Locks and stuff a lot, but Jada's very particular. And Jada's my all-time favorite rapper growing up. Like, that was the guy I grew up on. So, one, I'm on a tour bus with Jada as Peter Jackson, but then two, I'm on the tour bus with Jadakiss as Mike Smith, the booking agent who facilitated 20 dates for him in Canada. So, it's like you kind of got to play both. But, like, that's how I created opportunities for myself because nobody ever puts me on tours. Nobody ever put me on shows. No other rapper in the city ever gave me nothing. No couple booking agents looked out and did things with me, but I was good money to them. So it's like nobody really does more do it now, but like the opportunities we were making ourselves. So then I have to put myself in that position where I have to play two people just to get that 15 minutes on stage. So I mean, I don't complain about it. I actually like it. Like sometimes it's really hard, but at the end of the day, that's why like now like people watch me grow up from like 16 booking shows to being 30 booking shows. Like there's a big difference.
Right.
So it's like, Sheik hit me the other day and he was like, man, like your growth is incredible. But it's like I'm growing up in front of people's eyes and making mistakes as I'm going and things like that. So it's like for me, like I can't complain about it, but it's super hard sometimes. Really hard.
And I know like you're also independent, like as an artist, label wise. I guess you would be signed to 90 Nickel?
Yeah, I am.
So now do you ever find like conflict there? Like when it's kind of like, oh, I want to, like you were saying maybe with the video, for example, like you wanted to do all this kind of stuff, do this, and this. Do you ever find it hard where you have somebody like your business manager who's more kind of trying to look out for the label? And it's like you're almost arguing with yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's cool you say that because that's really what it is. Like, if it doesn't fit the budget for the label, but I'm the artist, I don't hear that. Like, I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, we can spend another 20, we're good. Like, but then the label's like, no, you can't spend another 20, you can spend 10.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you got to compromise and stuff, but it's almost better because I really am not unrealistic about things. Like, I know I can't shoot no $80,000 video because the play I'm gonna get off that video is not gonna make me $80K maybe off that one, or or maybe this, like when I shot 100 Miles, like I literally just stripped off 30,000 tweets, 3,000 Instagram posts, and all my old music offline. Like I just took it all off because people are going and looking for On a Wave, and then they're seeing like me when I was like 18, and then they're like, well, why is he talking like that and he's talking like this? And it's like, I want people to see a certain thing right now. So for me, it's like I spent call it, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there, $5,000 on 100 miles on the video. But I stripped the video offline like after a month because I was like, I don't want people watching On a Wave and then watching 100 miles. Because that's not what I'm trying to, it's not that that's not who I am. It's definitely who I am. Both of them are. But it's like, I want people to see one thing right now. And I don't want to confuse the big corporations that are looking. And I don't want to confuse the people at Nike or the people at Red Bull. Like, this is what I want them to see something. So for me, it's like, I almost have to sit back and be like, okay, does that spending that money make sense? So now I'm thinking as a label owner and the artist for the artist. So it's different, but I mean, like, that's really like, look at Jay, look at the people that are that big, they're doing that. They're knee deep in their own stuff. Like, look at you guys, like how you guys move. Black is invested in his thought process on everything. In my eyes, from what I see, that's what good artists do, and that's how people build and do that stuff. So for me, I'm a little bit too hands-on sometimes, but I'm letting people do their jobs now.
So let me ask you this. Considering that and considering the fact that you've done all these shows, and obviously I know on all these shows you try to put on as much local support as you can, give the people, like, as you were saying, nobody ever put you on a show, you know, so you're trying to put these local artists on. What kind of advice, especially with the way the industry's going, everyone's talking don't sign, stay independent, what kind of advice can you give a new artist maybe coming into the industry that's trying to build something for themselves, brand themselves, build their own version of 90 Nickel, kind of? Maybe not all the same aspects, but what kind of advice could you think would, like, think about your early days when you were, like, you know, going through the certain struggles. It's like the little things you didn't know. What type of advice could you give an artist? Maybe even it's just getting on a stage. Like, how to get on the stage. Like,
yeah, definitely. For me, I think a lot of people, it's a hard transition sometimes with music or any entertainment or any sport, where transitioning from a hobby to a job, there's a big difference between that. So it's like, you need to understand that this is a job. Like, yo, I went broke to rap. I stopped everything I was doing. Like, I was doing a lot that was gonna get me in trouble. So it was like, how am I supposed to be in the light and do this? Like, I can't do both. And I never held a 9-to-5 job for longer than a probation period. So for me, it was like right away I had to figure out that this was a business. So for me, that's first and foremost for people. It's like, you need to understand that you're in a business. So you need to be good money for people. Like, people need to get money with you in order to want to do business with you. There's no other ands, ifs, or buts about it. Like, being dope to me is first and foremost when I'm dealing with the music. But if I'm dealing with the business, your business got to be on point before I even hear you. So it's like, you know, I run showcases and festivals to find out who's dope, who's on point with their business, and who I like to deal with, like who I can, and then I have tons of opportunities. So it's like, that's just me personally on my side of things. But I honestly feel like I don't take no for an answer. I never really listen to anybody, because, like, it's not really cool to be from the suburbs and rap and be white. Like, it's not, it just almost didn't.
It's like the stereotype of hip hop is not that, right?
Yeah, so. Nah, but those are really hip hop kids. But it's a different mind frame of hip hop. But like, yo, the white people thought I was trying to act black, and the black people couldn't figure out what I was doing, and like, you know, that's not really the right way to say it almost. But it was like, nobody really liked it at first. They're like, what is he doing?
Right.
So it's like, I didn't listen to anybody. Like, when all the hockey guys were like, oh, like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And then everybody else like, nah, he's not real. I'm like, so how are we gonna get this together? How you guys gonna figure this out? Because it's super real, but it's like, you know, so I just didn't really listen to anybody at first. Like, I really didn't listen to anybody, and I really had my business together. Like, I was doing my own stuff. Like, if Peter Jackson or Now Nickel won't put you on a show, go run your own show. And not them, but like, that's really if somebody's not gonna do something for you, figure out how to do it. Because that's what I did. Like, people were like, oh no, you're 16, you can't come into the club. I'm like, yes I can.
You weren't taking no for an answer, you were just chasing that dream.
I was in the clubs chasing DJs down to 16, trying to get them to play horrible records. Like, records that were like, had no chance to play in clubs, and making people play them because I was in the club. I'm like, so you're gonna play that? You're gonna play that? It's like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta get out of here. Like, I don't even drive, but I'm driving. I gotta get out of here. So, like, that's my whole thing, is I just really didn't listen, and I was like, oh, this is gonna work. I just gotta figure out a way to make it work, and that's still kind of how I think. Like, I just move around and do what makes sense.
Would you say you still have the same hunger that you had back in the days when you were 16 trying to get in the club?
I'm way more hungry now.
more hungry now.
Yeah, way more hungry now, because when I first started, I had no responsibilities, and I had nobody counting on me. And at this point, like, I got a lot of people counting on me. I got a lot of people that I'm taking care of, and then I've got my direct family that, like, we eat off this, we live off this. So, I'm way more hungry now. Like, I'm more calculated. So I'm not, like, sometimes when you're hungry, you make really big mistakes because you have no choice.
Right.
Like, you just jump into something. And I'm not at that point, but I'm more calculated. But I'm definitely just as hungry, if not more. Like, I'll do anything to me that makes somewhat sense. So.
No, that's good. Well, before we go, let's talk about the city for a second. Obviously, we've got a lot of great talent coming out of the city. The city be crazy. Tons of artists. I know you've worked with some artists from the city in the past. Is there anybody you want to work with from the city?
That I haven't? This girl, Raya May. I'm all over. I know I'm tripping her out too. She don't understand why I want to, like, why I like her music so much. I know I'm tripping her out. This girl, Raya May. Me and Pressa are about to do something together. About to do like a real commercial single together. You guys obviously know I mess with you guys. I like Blackest stuff. Right now, somebody that I haven't worked with though.
What about Drake? Would you want to work with Drake?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I mean, he's the one that's on top right now. So you want that acceptance.
Right.
Like, you want them to kind of see what you're doing. And it's not like, I know they know what I'm doing, but we didn't grow up together, and we don't really run around together. So it's like, I don't expect them to reach out or whatever. But yeah, definitely. I mean, we could definitely, especially where I'm going right now with the music, me and him would make sense. But him, I like Puffy L's, man. I really like Puffy. I just like his demeanor.
What's that song he had? He has that song that's mad catchy still. Yeah, is it Rihanna song? That shit catchy as hell. So
there's a bunch of dope records right now running through the city in the clubs.
Yeah.
And that comes from the DJs.
The city. That's what I'm saying. Like, we were in the club the other night, and there was like 4 release parties going on, and every record that they played was dope. I was like, yo, this is
yeah, but
great.
That comes with the infrastructure, man. When the infrastructure gets stronger here, the DJs are on with the artists, and the artists got the right music to give to the DJs, and then the promoters are booking the right artists in the city, and then people are supporting the bookings, and when it goes around in a full circle and stuff like that, and people are watching these outlets and this kind of stuff, is like, that's when this stuff's gonna turn into something bigger. And that's when I'm not telling everybody in the city to work together, because I already know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in the politics, but I understand the politics. So
it's still the screw face cap.
Yeah, but you know what? Everywhere's the same like that, bro.
Yeah.
There's a million people trying to make it in every market, and we all think that wherever we are is the hardest to come out of, because that's what you understand. So, and that's what you see. So, for me, I like everybody's stuff. Like, I don't like everybody's stuff. That's a lie. But I like a lot of artists, and I work with a lot of artists. But you can see me, like, I show love. Like, even if I don't per se talk to people, like, I'll big them up for what they're doing, because people do that with me all the time. Like, there's DMs lately that I should have been screenshotting and putting up, because they're big people being like, yo, I see what you're doing, or I like what you did on this, or yo, you should try doing this again. But it's like, I don't really mess with that person. Not that I wouldn't, but they don't show me love publicly, so I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Put up the DM like a girl?
Show that you're getting love.
Yeah, like, girl, like, I do it when it's like people are promoting, but if it's not like that, then I kind of just keep it under wraps, because that's, I guess, how they wanted it to be. So, I just think everybody needs to show as much support and stuff, the good stuff. Like, you ain't got to support something that sucks.
Yeah.
Or you ain't got to support someone who's not doing something right. Like, don't feel obligated. Like, when people are like, people don't support local hip hop and stuff. Yes, they do. Because you guys get support. I get support. The right people get support because it's good and it makes sense. Like, don't just support because it's your people. Like, support because you want to support. That's how I feel.
That's a dope way to think about it. So what's next for you, man?
I got a tour coming up end of October. I'm doing a nationwide tour. I hope I got my stuff together to go to the U.S. before Christmas. I did my permits correctly this time, so I should be all right. And pushing this single. This vacation will be my push for the next little bit. And I got an EP done, or I got an album done, so it's kind of just still taking first? Meetings. EP first.
Can you get a name?
It's called Married to Success.
Married to Success.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that's dope. Well, shit. We're excited, and for now it's vacation. Check it out. It's everywhere. What's your social media? Give me your social media.
Peter Jackson 905 on Twitter and Instagram, and peterjacksonmusic.ca.
That's it. You already know. It's your boy Johnny Bravo, brown guy behind the camera. WhatTheHype.ca, #1 source for hip hop. Check it out. Love still.